Nayo.
Good morning, Joshua.
All right, well, let's check the headlines from some of the major dailies that we've got here this morning. Still talking about PDP crisis. There's still issues emanating from the People's Democratic Party's angle. PDP crisis, party leadership, Wike in standoff. We're getting that from a particular source. And from Vanguard again, 1 million compatriots died to keep Nigeria together. President Buhari talking about the Civil War, there 1967 to 1970. Moving away from that insecurity, deploy security personnel to schools, parents beg Soludo. And Keys Daniel apologizes, announces free show in Tanzania. I never told Tinubu to give Peter Obi a chance. Seek treatment for his health. Ghana president. I'm not a cross-dresser. I don't really distance himself from Bobrisky, James Brown. That's of the entertainment scene. Looking at Daily Post to check some headlines. 2023 Tinubu hardest working politician of this generation, Senator Namani. Insecurity, suspected terrorist arrested in Lagos, and why I invited Tinubu men to commission projects in River State. We have killed many bandit leaders, defense chief Irabo. And going back to 2023, why Atiku should win presidential election. We say that, but Babangida, not the former head of state or the former governor of Niger State, Aliyu Babangida. Moving away from Daily Post, let's check what we've got on the Punch newspaper. Wike's romance with Tinubu's men. Ratus are made cheese base. That's from Punch. Minority threat to impeach Buhari campaign strategy. APC rep. Diesel hike. NRC reduces Lagos Ibadan trips by 67%. Some people mocked me when I lost my son. Adeboye. Resolve issues with HASU. Now, vice chancellors beg federal government. And this one coming from Ekiti State government. Governor County Fimi approves the solution of bots, drop advisors, others. Well, I think we should just start with politics this morning. Let's take this one. Governor Nyesom Wike of River State has been in the news for different reasons for the past few weeks, months, if you ask me. Well, I think there's still a source saying that Wike and the party leadership is in standoff. Let's take that story before we come to the one that says that, well, he's romancing Tinubu's men, and why. We'll talk about that pretty soon. The crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party (PDP) may not abate soon, as indications emerged yesterday that leadership of the party appears to be dilly-dallying with a request made by Governor Nyesom Wike of River State, a situation that has led to a standoff between opposing camps in the party. This came as PDP supporters from Delta State under the aegis of Delta State Mandate Group yesterday drummed support for the Senator Iyorchia-led PDP National Working Committee. Multiple sources who spoke with Vanguard in confidence hinted that the dilly-dallying by the PDP leadership could be attributed to Wike's recent outburst. Governor Wike on Monday stated that he remained fully in charge of his state, warning that nobody can hold meetings against him in Abuja and be successful. The governor also vowed that nobody who despised the political capability of the state will be visited with the same anybody who despises the political capability of the state will be visited with the same treatment. We have charted perceived misguided Rivers politicians for twisting his assertions on Monday that the state is fully in its grips. Well, you can see some more sub-headlines from that story. Party dilly-dallings with governor's request. In a chat with Vanguard, multiple sources said the decision of the PDP leaders not to meet the demands of the governor might be responsible for Wike's invitation of all progressives, Congress, APC governors, and leaders into Rivers State. Another source familiar with the working of the party warned the failure of the PDP leaders to meet Wike's demands might affect the fortunes of the party in 2023. Well, no time to go on with that particular story. There are some other stories. Wike's romance with Tinubu's men rattles Amechi's base. Well, his request, is what I want you to quickly look at right now. Talking about the removal of Yochayu, I believe that's one of them.
Yeah.
But there might be some other bigger things that we don't know. Politicians, it's about to give and take. And if he's not getting the position of the president, which was actually the first on his agenda, and then that of the vice president, he would definitely wants to have his grip on that party structure in a way. His request, do you think that this is something that the leadership of the party would ever accede to?
Well, his requests are a bit huge. He has about 3 or 4 of them.
All right.
One is that Ayu should step down since he is from the same geopolitical, or rather, northern part of the country with the presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. 2 is also requesting that Atiku should agree that he would run for only 1 term. I mean 4 years, and after 4 years he should just step aside. He's also demanding that there should be a kind of committee set up which would draw members from his own camp and Atiku's camp to continue to, meet over reconciliation moves. A whole lot of them, and as far as I know, I think the party hierarchy has agreed with virtually all. Of course, if you listened to Atiku Abubakar's speech when he won the primaries, he said he is running a transition. He wants to run a transition government, and with my own little knowledge of what transition government means, it would be a government that is going to birth another administration. So that is, I think that was borrowed from Mandela, which he said if he ran for a single term, he was going to step down, which he did. And so whether Atiku would fulfill that in the next 4 years if he emerges president is something we cannot predict because we know our politicians. But I think the major issue now is that Ayu should step aside, which I think the party is still struggling with that reality, and one has to feel the pains of the party. This is a party that just conducted a convention to elect national officials a few months ago, I think in November or December last year. And over that leadership crisis, there are still issues in court. Secondus is still in court, dragging issues with the party hierarchy. And the moment Ayu leaves, it means you put the party in a limbo. And you can't afford to have an acting national chairman in the months ahead of election. That one, too, the fact that the party also has litigations in court. So it's a very big one for the party, and I think the party should find a way to convince Wike that, look, this is a bit difficult. We have cases in court. We cannot have a vacuum in a leadership structure during campaigns. So the party has told Wike that, look, if Atiku wins, Ayu would definitely have to step aside. But I don't think Wike wants to wait till that time, because he has also alleged, or his camp has alleged, that the PDP, seems to be favorable to the northern part of the country. And so, if Ayu steps down now, it means you may have the next person in line would be a northerner. And so, there are issues that would that mean that the national executive from north would have to swap to south and south to swap to north. So, it's a very big issue. And I think the two camps, Atiku's camp and Wike's camp, should have a way to talk this through. But I know to change the leadership of the party now may not be an easy one.
May not be an easy one. That is to change the leadership of the People's Democratic Party now. And still talking, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, why I invited Tinubu men to commission projects in Rivers. Wike talking there. Rivers State's Governor Nyesom Wike has defended his reasons for inviting members of the opposition political party to commission projects in the state. The governor said he wants them to come and see what he has done and take the message back home. He was speaking during the commissioning of the Owolabi Eastern Bypass Dualized Road in Port Harcourt on Tuesday. The governor said, and I quote, "Nobody can stop me from bringing people from other walks of life to see what we have been able to do and what we are doing in Rivers State." Yesterday, the governor of Lagos, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, was there. Today, the former governor of Sokoto State was there. On Thursday, the Speaker of the House, of Representatives will be here to commission the assembly residents. Go and see the wonders that God helped us to do. Whether you are in Labour Party, APC, or PDP, it is to invite you to come and see and then go back and compare. That's wicked. There are two angles to this particular development. As a matter of fact, Wike's romance with Tinubu's men rattles Amechi's base. There are strong indications that the Rivers State All Progressives Congress, led by immediate past Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, is angry about the romance between the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu's men and the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike. Wike has in recent times been meeting with some APC chieftains, including Tinubu's allies. On Monday, the Lagos State Governor Ajide Sanwo-Olu was invited by Wike to inaugurate a road project. Well, I think I don't want us to go. However, sources close to Amechi told the Punch that the romance between Wike and Tinubu was disrespectful, especially since it was public knowledge that Wike and Amechi were political foes. They also accused Tinubu of supporting Senator Magnus Abe, who recently dumped the APC to run for governor on the platform of the Social Democratic Party. So, this is the issue right now. Wike has said that he is only inviting them to come and see the wonders, to take something home. But people are bringing politics into this. How are you doing?
Definitely. We are in the season where you have to see issues from political standpoint. Wike did not just start this year, this moment. I think since the beginning of this year, he has been commissioning projects in Rivers State. In fact, for the stretch of 1 month, he continued to commission and inaugurate projects in Rivers State. He has brought Undume, that a northern lawmaker Senator from Borno State. He has, even Fayemi has been there. Exactly, a whole lot of persons. Now, recently, Sanwo-Olu and Wamako from Sokoto, and I'm aware Mimiko would also be there today to commission projects. So I think it's just Wike's style to look, come and see what I am doing in Rivers State. Maybe you can pick. In fact, at some point he had to call Akpabio, and there Akpabio was begging him, please come and join us in APC, and he said no, I'm not going to join. But another side to that is, I feel the pains of Amechi. By the time you his own person, and he would naturally raise dust. But I think he should also find a way to settle scores with Wike. Amechi sounds difficult, sounds impossible, but this is because I have read that story, and
do you think Wike is deliberately doing this to spite Amechi?
Look, if you open enough gap, Atiku is going to woo Amechi back to PDP. So that is one thing the APC does not want to see. And I think for Rivers State is a very peculiar one. Wike, I am sure, and Amechi cannot be in the same party. And that's why I knew from the start of Wike's issues that he was never going to join Amechi in APC. That's a difficult one. Because who would then be the party chairman or party leadership in the state? That was why Magnus Abe had to leave the party. And of course, being a governorship candidate in SDP, supporting APC presidential candidate, it's a very big one. So I think we should just let Wike and Amechi continue their game. There is no day we may see an end to their political war.
Okay, well, INEC denies accepting Lawan Akpabio as senatorial candidate. Let me just prepare. The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC said it has not accepted the nomination of Senate President Ahmed Lawan and former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs Godswill Akpabio as senatorial candidates for Yobe North and Akwa Ibom North West senatorial districts, respectively. The commission rejected the nomination of the duo following controversies that surrounded the primary elections that purportedly produced them as senatorial candidates of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. Reacting to an online report which claimed that the commission doctored and backdated documents to accommodate Lawan and Akpabio's nomination, ANEC said it has not recognized any of the two as candidates. Well, it seems that Nigeria has joined us in the studio. I really like on a good morning. Good to have you joined us this morning.
Good morning.
Well, so it seems that these two individuals, not just individuals, political stalwarts. We're talking about the Senate president here. We're talking about a former governor, a former senator, a former minister here. Are not ready to back down. They just don't want to lose the ticket. You know, people are saying that, well, they wanted to hit their cake and have it at the same time. You know what happened? They contested for the post of the president on their party, All Progressives Congress, and by the time they came back and they lost, one of them actually stepped down for Tinubu. the primaries have been conducted, but they still continue to pursue all of this. INEC has come out right now to say, well, we have not replaced the former names with their names. What do you see happening in the long run as far as this issue is concerned? You see INEC still holding it tight and say, well, these gentlemen, they've lost it and they've lost it for now. They should, if they still want to be relevant.
Politically, I think that INEC, the new amended law provides, gives provision for, an exception like this, only if the candidate that was nominated dies or voluntarily
withdraws
from the race. And I think that that's the only opener that this can get easy resolution. If not, they might have to approach the court. And I'm sure that INEC also would not want that. So I think politically APC would, I'm sure they're planning already to resolve this as getting whoever's name is on the list to step down, or withdraw from the race. So that it can accommodate these two giants, because looking at it, it's a way to pay them back for the political sacrifices.
Pay them back?
Yes. I mean, it's just simple. It's just a payback.
What sacrifices are you talking about?
Political sacrifices. If you are stepping down, as a presidential candidate,
then the party will pay them back.
It's the party. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying the party will prevail. I'm talking from
Ahmad Lawan never stepped down for anybody.
Yes. He didn't step down for anybody. That's why maybe they resolve that at the court. But for Akpabio
was the first
moral demand.
It's in the eye of the law right now.
Yeah, legally, AY said it. There are only two options. It is if the validly elected person dies, or he voluntarily withdraws from the race. And Machina from Yobe is determined not to step down. So that is an easy one. But for Akpabio, the case is in court, because the moment Akpabio stepped down from the presidential race, he ran back to Akwa Ibom to conduct another primary election after INEC had monitored the one that produced another candidate. So, and now who voted at his own primaries were delegates, ideal delegates, or those who voted for the other person are not the ideal candidate. So that case is in court. But I think APC has tried for Lawan. They've written to INEC and they've written to Machina. In fact, they've threatened Machina that, look, if you don't step down with me, it would mean you don't agree that party is supreme, and you are, voluntarily and deliberately going against the supremacy of the party. But this is politics, and Machina too, if you go under the works, he also has his backing in your based state governor Malabuni. So it's a very dicey one. I think Lawan will just have to. Tinubu has said it. The moment he won the primaries, that he would have to lick his wound, and he's licking his wound already. So,
all right. Well, quickly, let's move to security issues right now, away from politics. You can watch us on Facebook on NewCruse 927 FM, NewCruse 927 FM. Do well to like that post. Do well to like that post, to share the post, to drop here comments. I can see one or two comments already. Master Wasiu Adekunle Alaji, we appreciate you. Eyitayo Adetunjade, I'm coming back to your message, to pick your message. Let's go straight to security right now. We've killed many bandit leaders. The fence chief, Irabo, the chief of the fence staff, Lucky Irabo, said the military has killed many bandit leaders amid the recent Abuja Kaduna train attack in the country. Irabo stated this yesterday during a meeting with editors and media executives in Abuja. Daily Post recalls that terrorists attacked and kidnapped Abuja Kaduna bound train passengers on March 28, 2022. Speaking of the recent attack, Irabo said although some victims had been released, the military and other security agencies remained committed to ensuring the safe rescue of remaining victims in the captivity. He said the military had intensified both air and ground operations to deal with criminals in all parts of the country, adding that several successes had been recorded in recent times. Well, and one of the successes that he was talking about there, he said military arrest or war church attackers. Well, eventually, the military, earlier, we were not getting it from authorities. People were saying it was a kind of a rumor, speculation then. But now that the military is saying that 5 of them yesterday, and the governor even confirmed this, it looks like a Chinese. But the questions Nigeria will be asking is, well, this is after the damage has been done.
Yes,
over 40 worshippers killed.
I think that I saw the vituperations from one of the army generals, ex-army generals on Arise TV. against Rufai and the co-host, and Rufai asking, what are the successes, And the general kept saying, you want me to tell you that we have failed? You want me to tell you? I mean, one success is the fact that you have a TV station standing there and you are not being bombed. The truth is, when your success stories or your failures outweighs your success stories, I mean, it's human metrics, it's natural metrics. The percentage of your failures outweighs the percentage of your success. Failure will definitely take the glory over the success. And if we have, opened up or manned in terms of security the Nigerian state so much that bandits can now score points, they now have publicity stunts, they are now looking for people to talk about them, and everybody's talking about them, then we should blame them. Then it's their fault. I mean, you cannot expect us to be banking on the so many bandits that have been killed and the ones that are in prison, whereas even the most secure places on Nigeria, the sacred places, have been bombed and desecrated by this same group of people. You don't expect Nigerians to be happy with the fact that you have killed a lot of bandit leaders and some of them are repentant. What are you doing decisively about this matter? What is the president doing? What are the security chiefs doing? So it's not to say that you are not doing well. It's just like the police matter. Someone made a tweet yesterday that we're not giving the Nigerian police enough credit because they are the only security body in Nigeria that is punishing and publicizing the punishment of some of their recalcitrant officers. But the truth is, many of their officers are still recalcitrant and still, violating the rights of Nigerians on the road every single day. So when your bad is outweighs your good, then the bad will take the glory, and that's what everybody will talk about. It's natural.
All right, does quickly want to add something before we open the lines. I've got this one: insecurity, what we want from Ibubeagu, Southeast resident. You can check that story out on Vanguard newspaper. Another one from Daily Trust: insecurity, Gombe government launches operation Atara tax force.
Well, I think for the Owo issue, because I think Nigerians are still battling with the shock of that horrendous incident, and it's a good one that eventually some persons have been arrested. At least they will give the military hierarchy and the police some bit of intel as to what led to that incident, who were those behind the incident, and what other issues may arise in the future. It's a good one, but like I would always say, we must get to that point in Nigeria where we can always stop these cases and not let them happen before we begin to make arrests.
All right, well, quickly from our Facebook, Eyitayo Adetunji Adeyeye saying Governor Wike is busy toying with the PDP when he has already made up his mind to work for Ashiwaju. The main grounds is that power should have shifted to the south, so most of the PDP governors, especially of southern extraction, might just betray Atiku at the last minute, and it is almost impossible to turn down the political romance of the Jagaban. Even the beautiful bride Wike might not be able to resist. All right, Ben Lunga saying, is it now allowed for an individual to buy two different firms for different position, or even when you do not participate in a primary, you can bulldoze your way to cow legitimate candidate to step down because you are you are a big wig in the party. Greed. This is why we are where we are today. Well, thank you very much, Ben Lunge and Ita there. And Ita saying the military that hastily came out to say the perpetrators were ISWAP members. No military in Nigeria for now. Big one. Let's pick some calls quickly. 0903-035-8774, 0915 3886 590, and 0811 8002723.
Those states, I feel comfortable for anyone to take those guys to Abuja. Let them do their case in Otosi where they are committed that crime. That is my own advice. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Joshua. I appreciate your contribution this morning. FIMEA approved dissolution of boards, drop advisors, others. Let's quickly take part of that story. Ekiti State Governor Kawode FIMEA has approved the dissolution of boards and Commission in the state with effect from August 31. This, however, does not include statutory commission spelled out in Section 197 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. Finally, also approved the stoppage of the services of special advisors who are not cabinet members, technical advisors, director general, coordinators, and other heads of non-ministerial offices effective from the same date. Well, gentlemen, I think we need to go on the program this morning. I appreciate you, Ayayunu, so sincerely for your contribution. And Ewa Nigeria, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Alaji Taufik Olabisi Tausfat, you're watching us from Shaki in your state. So thank you very much. We appreciate you, Alaji Taufik Olabisi. That's the show this morning. We'll take a minute right now to just set our day off officially with this lovely tune coming from Koban's Asuko and Sound Sultan. Of course, he calls it every day. Have a great day. We'll be back in 5 minutes' time for Bottom Line, the Wednesday edition.
I want to tell you a story. It happened somewhere where I know. Three friends there for village, they won't find city go. They won't go find better life somewhere where green grass they grow, where they go fit to blow. Monkey now workaholic, sit down look na the dog name. But baboon wearing their brother, in mouth sweet past sugar cane. The same thing way him tell them, now him make monkey they slave, and then the dog complain. Every day for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. If it take time, but one day monkey go market. Sit down, look good day then, as baboon they run the town. Plenty years joined together, sit all looked at the same place.